J.
Welcome to Food Magic, the one place to find out about all things edible, where they're grown, how they're grown, what sort of nutrients they contain, and best of all, what recipes we can make. Today, we are going to explore the crunchy world of tauge, or in other words, bean sprouts. As the name suggests, bean sprouts come from, well, beans. Mung beans to be precise. But they can also be grown from soy, alfalfa, black, kidney, and ajuki beans, chickpeas, and even lentils. Those produce a different type of sprout and are not the ones we usually eat with our Indian roja, laksa, or fried noodles. We're not talking about those ones. We're talking about the mung beans that come from the legume family. They are very widely cultivated throughout Southeast Asia, especially in India and China. In India, discoveries of the Vigna radiata on archaeological sites have actually carbon dated mung beans back some 4,500 years. That's incredible! From there, it must have made its way to Persia, where bean sprouts were first domesticated and grown commercially. There were also discoveries in Africa in the 9th and 10th centuries. Not surprising that the little green bean sprouted up in far-flung places. It must have been known to contain minerals and vitamins and other nutrients long before modern scientists confirmed it. Each 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of boiled green mung beans contains, get this, 105 kilocalories of energy. And what's more, it even contains 3% of the daily required calcium intake, 9% of zinc, 11% of iron, and 14% of thiamine, which is what our body uses to convert those carbohydrates into energy. Should I go on? Well, the numbers are reduced when mung beans sprout into tauge. For each 100 grams, you now get 30 kilocalories of energy, 4% of zinc, 7% of iron, and thiamine. On the contrary, though, it does go up in terms of vitamin C, from just 1% when it's in its bean form to 16% once it's sprouted. It's strange, but it's true. Mung beans and bean sprouts do, however, both contain folate, which is very important for our red blood cell production. To show you one of my favorites from Malacca. This is kerabu nonya, or in other words, nonya salad. To eat healthy really couldn't take less effort. So here are some of the ingredients you need. You've got some roasted belacan, palm sugar, lime juice, dried shrimp, kurisi, 4 ango beans, we've got mung bean glass noodles, paku pakis or fern leaves, and this is red torch ginger, some chopped red chilies, some tauge, and finally some long beans. Now, as you've probably guessed, I'm literally just going to throw it all into the bowl and mix it up. So let's begin. Now I'm going to start with our belacan first. This is probably the most effort that it's going to take. So I'm just going to crush this up, really mush it so that it distributes nicely and evenly throughout the salad, because the last thing you want is a mouthful just of this. When it comes to smoked belacan, I think most people are on either side of the fence. They either use it in their cooking or they don't, simply because it's got a really strong, sort of very smoky flavor to it that's rather pungent. However, it does complement a lot of dishes and just adds that little bit extra depth. So I'm going to throw in our palm sugar just for a little bit of sweetness. Next, I'm going to add in our dried shrimp. And then we're literally just going to throw all the other ingredients in together. So I'm going to start with our tauge. So in order to prepare the tauge, all you have to do is rinse it and drain it. These have all sort of been blanched. A little bit of red chili for some fire and color. And for some nice fresh leafy greens, these beautiful fern salad or pakopakis. And over here, this beautiful dusty pink in the form of our red torch ginger. Such a beautiful hue. And then we're gonna add in our 4 angko beans or kacang botol. And I saved this for last. These are actually mung bean glass noodles, like I said. And it's just really nice because with all the crunch of the tauge and the 4 angko beans, this is just gonna add a nice bit of softness and absorb all those flavors. So just before we chuck in our dressing, as it were, I'm just gonna add in some lime juice. And then I'm gonna sort of mix this all together. And now to really pull it all together, what this is grated coconut that's been stir-fried until it's just gone a beautiful golden brown, and you get this gorgeous, beautiful smelling dressing. It's perfect for dressing for your salad. So give it a nice little mix. So we're gonna be a little bit cautious. I'm gonna add maybe half of this first, just to see. What you want to do is sort of coat the entire batch of your salad, right? So make sure, give it a good mix. And I love this salad because you can really bring out the best of, I mean, tauge on its own can be fairly bland and fairly plain. So this is a really nice way of incorporating it into your diet. There you have it. I mean, who could say no to a salad like this? All that's left is to plate it on this beautiful white plate. That's gonna do it justice. So time to serve it up. Voila, a colorful Nonya Kerabu salad. Don't go anywhere, we've got much more coming up after the break, but for now, I'm gonna see what I have in my spice cupboard. Welcome back to Food Magic. We are talking about the little green mung bean that germinates into this white, crunchy bean sprout that's so popular throughout Malaysia and Southeast Asia. Bean sprouts come from either green, yellow, or black mung beans, and in fact, they germinate so quickly, sometimes between 4 to just 7 days before ending up on your dinner plate. If you want to grow your own bean sprouts, it's super simple. All you have to do is soak these little guys for about 6 hours to overnight. And as soon as they start to swell, you can transfer them to a paper towel, put them in a colander in a dark space. But don't forget to water them between 3 to 5 times a day. After that, 2 days later, they should look a lot like this. And 7 days later, well, let's just say that they are ready for the harvest.
My name is Ronald Loh. I'm from Assam House Restaurant, and Assam House Restaurant is since 1991. So until now it's almost 28 years already. Bean sprout very famous in Ipoh. This is actually just natural from our water supply in the mountain. That's why all our agriculture bean sprout, they use the water from the mountainside. And maybe because of this water, the bean sprout become very fresh and very not similar like other places like KL or Johor or other places. The other places are very thin and long. In Ipoh, their famous is very very short, yes, and very look stronger. It is much different. No? Ipoh, they have a fat and strong bean sprout. Now compare the thin and long. When you consume, you will find that definitely different a lot. And this is very difficult to explain. Also, you have to taste it at your own also. Salted fish, bean sprout. Now I add in some little bit oil. After searing, heat up the oil. I will add in some ikan masin, salted fish. That is salted fish. Searing salted fish become a golden color. We add in the salted garlic. And a little bit of oyster sauce. This is our Ipoh very famous bean sprout. After stirring in, we add some aji, sugar, and Thai fish sauce, and some pepper also. Okay. Now remove. Go. Done.
Left to grow in soil, plants will produce flowers which become brown, long, fuzzy seed pods in 3 to 4 months in warm weather conditions. Plants must be dug up when seed pods are about 60 to 70% mature and brown, hung somewhere dry so the pods will split and release the mung beans. There is a claim that Ipoh Perak grows the best tauge in Malaysia. And the town also has been told have ladies with the fairest complexions. It's all said that these are credited to hard water from limestone hills surrounding the area. Sprouts are mostly water, which makes them swell, and watering has to be done 6 times a day. The process can be done mechanically, but our local farmers still do the watering by hand, which, although a tedious task, is said to be much sweeter than the ones produced by machines. The beans are left in water for 4 daytime hours, and the rest of the time is spent in darkness. This process keeps the stem short, white, and crunchy. There is so much to the mung bean and the humble mung bean sprouts that meets the eye. More on bean sprouts coming up after the break. Welcome back back to Food Magic. We're here with our final recipe of the day, and I'm going to show you how to make an awesome tea time snack. This is packed filled with vegetables, nice and crunchy. It's a bean sprout fritter, or otherwise known as cucuk tauge. Amongst our crunchy vegetables, we've got some chopped onions, chives, carrots, garlic, red and green chilies, and of course our star tauge. And more importantly, all of this is going to go into the batter. So in order to make the batter, you just need 2 eggs, some all-purpose flour, and water. I'm going to begin, first of all, by putting our flour into the bowl. We're just going to mix this in. Add in our eggs. Just create a little well in the middle. And now it's really important that you get the batter just right. You don't want too much water, nor do you want too little. So we're going to add this little by little. So before you pile on the little calories that come along with this, here's a little pre-workout. And you know, if you have your husband at home and he just wants to eat it, you know, just remind him this is a great workout for those biceps. Now before this gets any further, I'm just going to throw in some salt, because there's nothing worse than having these awesome bean sprout fritters and without that nice punch of saltiness to it. It's just not the same. So be generous with your salt. And of course, with salt, there's usually pepper. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit. And mix that up again. So now that it's smooth and creamy and it's got sort of like a runny but sticky consistency, you know you're good to go. Now we're going to add in all our fun, crunchy ingredients. Let's add in all the onions. It may look like a lot now, but it's important to have just enough that, you know, every little bean sprout fritter has a nice mixture of all the ingredients in it. So I'm going to add in garlic. Chopped red and green chilies. Such a nice contrast to the paleness of the batter. And all our crunchy bean sprouts. So while you're doing this, you might have noticed that I've actually already preheated some cooking oil. You want to make sure that there's enough to submerge your not banana fritters, but your bean sprout fritters in. You want to make sure that there's enough oil to submerge your bean sprout fritters in. And of course, put it on a high until it's nice and hot. Otherwise, your fritters are just going to end up turning into these soggy looking, strange balls. All right, so I think we're ready to start our first batch. So always start with just a small bunch, small little bundle. See how that goes in. Yeah, that's good. That's right. And that's when you know it's hot enough. So now that we know it's hot enough, we're going to go in for the kill with some nice big bean sprout fritter balls. There we go. golden brown and they are ready to be taken out. So make sure you use a paper towel just to get rid of any excess oil. Let them sit on it and drip dry. And what's great about this is it takes barely any time to make at all, besides maybe standing around for a short while watching it fry. But I mean, if you've got a wok, it's probably even quicker. And there you have it, our bean sprout fritters or chucho tauge, the perfect tea time snack, and really just demonstrates how versatile tauge or bean sprouts can be. And just like that, we've come to the end of another episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning about the tauge just as much as I have. It has certainly been an episode sprouting with goodness. My name is Nadia Heng. I will see you next time on Food Magic.